Happy Friday morning, everybody. Dwayne Bryant here from wagertalk.com, ready to dig into some more MLB SDQL queries that are active on today's games. Are we ready to make some money on the bases today? I know I am. So we're going to get into some SDQL right now. Before I kick that off, though, just a reminder, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up as well. And also hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any recordings or live streams on my channel. We are going to do this show. It's been 11:30 a.m. Eastern sharp every day this week, and that is the plan going forward as well. Let's kick this off with a trend where we are going to look at Jordan Montgomery, and we're going to look at Jordan Montgomery this season when the total is set at specific numbers. So we will start with season equals 2023. And our starter is Jordan Montgomery. And now we can do this one of two ways. We can always do the total equals 8 or total equals 8.5 in parentheses. And when we do that, we see that Montgomery and the Cardinals are 0-7 this year when he starts with the total set at 8 or 8.5. And again, it's not about the wins and losses here. It's about the margin and the ROI. Look at this. He was an average minus 166 favorite and lost all 7 games. So if you faded him, your ROI was 136.1%, and that is active today as Montgomery and the Cardinals host Ben Lively and the Cincinnati Reds. So again, very high return on investment there. That's impressive that he was a minus 166 favorite and the Cards lost all 7 games. And again, here for the total, the shorthand for this would be and as you can see, when I do it that way, it's the exact same result. So you just when you do the SDQL for a while, you do learn some shortcuts to the shortcuts, if you will. So let's move on to trend number 2. We're going to look now at how Andrew Heaney has done in recent seasons prior to the All-Star break. So we are going to look at Andrew Heaney. We're going to go back season greater than or equal to 2020. And before the All-Star break, capital BASB, before All-Star break. And you can see here the over-under, 22 overs, only 5 unders, 2 pushes. The games have gone over by an average of 3.1 runs per game for an ROI of 51.2% if you played the over in all of those games. Quite the list here. And as you can see down here, it is active today. Heaney and the Rangers visit the Tampa Bay Rays in what should be a very good series. And guys, if you have any queries, any trends, angles, situations you want me to look up in regards to MLB, if I can do it, I will. Drop them in the chat section, and I will gladly look them up and see what kind of results we can get. My next trend is going to be, we're going to look at Josiah Gray. We're going to look at him on the road when his team is off a loss. And we're going to go back to last season. So we're going to go season greater than or equal to 2022. Starter equals Josiah Gray is away. And the previous game for his team was a loss. So now here, if I would have went with a lowercase s, that would have meant that the team lost Josiah Gray's previous start. But when we go lowercase p, that references the team's previous game, not the starter's previous game. So since 2022, Josiah Gray on the road when his team is off a loss. And you can see here, despite being an average underdog of plus 164, basically, the team is 9-3 in his road starts when they are off a loss. You can see the run line record is better, but the ROI is not. The ROI on the money line is 98.9%. If you take them on the run line, you're only getting a 64.2% return on investment. And you can see that that is active today. Gray and the Nationals visiting the Atlanta Braves. And I know the temptation there is to take the plus 1.5 runs since they're such a hefty dog. But as this trend shows, when Gray is a hefty dog and the Nats are off a loss, he has been moneyed at almost 100% ROI. So, guys, before I get into any more trends, I would just ask if you are interested to head over to my page at Wager Talk. You can get there by going to dbbets.com. I do have a strong MLB play up for today. It is my best bet upset. It's going to surprise some people, I believe, but this play is backed by situational angles. Combined have gone 32-5, 86.5% winners. Those angles are all included in the write-up. Having a good MLB season, despite the Rockies blowing the ninth inning yesterday. Still a 22.48% bankroll increase this season in MLB. Looking to add an underdog shocker to that bankroll today. You can get that at dbbets.com. So we'll go back to the SDQL database. And I'm going to stop the trends that I have here. I'm going to go to the chat. All right. Griffin Heron's got a good one here. And he wants road dogs under 400 win percentage with rest, off a loss by 5 or more, playing a team off a road win. All right, so I'm going to have to keep going back and forth on my screens here to be able to get all this. So we're going to start with road dogs under 400 with rest. So road dogs under 400. Rest is greater than 0. Off a loss by 5 or more. The previous margin less than or equal to -5. And the last part of that was playing a team off a road win. So the opponent, the opponent's previous game was a road win, an away win. Now this is going to do the history of the database. So in the history of the database, not good on the money line, 9-14 straight up, an average plus 159 dog, -3% ROI. But look at the run line on this, 17-2 on the run line for an ROI of 54%. So that is actually a very good trend that is actually active today on the Royals as they visit the Orioles. So, yeah, that's awesome. That is a great find there, Griffin. I'm going to have to add that one to my library. Anybody else has any that you want me to look up? Drop them in the chat, or any SDQL questions in particular, drop them in the chat and I'll get back to them. In the meantime, I'm going to go back to the trends that I have here. And we're going to look at the Astros on the road when they've played a couple of unders recently. So we're going to go date greater than or equal to, and we always do the year, the 4-digit year first, 2-digit month, 2-digit day. So we're going to go back to May 29th of last season. Team equals Astros. And I know it's coming up on the screen, so I could just click and put it there, but I'm going to do this the other way. End away. Previous game went under the total, and their second most recent game also went under the total. And you can see that in this situation, the Astros are 23-3 straight up. If you don't mind the juice, they are about an average minus 151 favorite, but a good ROI despite that high line of 50.4%. And you'll see if you took them on the run line, you would not have your profit would almost be cut in half. So in this case, drinking the juice would be the better way to go. They won those games by an average of 2.7 runs per game. And you can see that is active today. Astros on the road at Cleveland. Now, last I looked, the Cleveland got blasted on the line. That line moved, I believe, over 30 cents in Cleveland's favor. So I won't be touching Houston today. But that is a trend to file away. Next, we're going to look at a current season trend. And we're going to look at the Tampa Bay Rays home at a certain price level. So we're going to go season equals 2023. Team equals Rays at home. We're going to look at them when the line is higher than minus 130. You can see we get the Rays at 23-2 straight up, but an average minus 204 favorite, a good 37.9% ROI. You actually make out a little bit better taking them on the run line. It drops your win percentage, but that doesn't matter. We're worried about the ROI, and the ROI actually goes up to 40.9% if you take Tampa Bay on the run line when they're at home as a favorite of more than minus 130. That is the case today as the Rays host the Texas Rangers. The last one that I have for this show today is we are going to look, again, this is going to be another current season trend. We're going to look at how the Guardians do off back-to-back wins. So we're going to do team season equals 2023, team equals Guardians. Previous game is a win, and their second most recent game also a win. And you can see here the over-under, 9 overs, no unders, 1 push. Love this margin. Games went over by over 4 runs per game. Very nice 81.1% ROI. And this is active today. The Guardians hosting the Houston Astros. Looks like the total is around 8. And you can see here in the runs column, the Guardians have averaged 5 runs per game. Off back-to-back wins, they have allowed 7.3 runs per game coming off back-to-back wins. Also note, they've actually lost 8 in a row in this situation. So if we change this, I wasn't planning on this, but what is that? 8 is greater than or equal to April 4th. You get the Guardians at 0-8 on the money line, despite being an average minus 133 favorite. So you fade them in this spot. You get an 108.5% ROI. Very impressive number. But again, the line moved a ton in Cleveland's favor today, and that is enough to keep me off of them here, or keep me off of fading them here. Those were the only trends that I had for today. I don't see any more in the chat, so I'm going to call it a day. I thank you guys for tuning in. Again, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and also hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss any live streams or videos. I will do this 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. Not sure about the weekend yet. If I can do one tomorrow, I will. And until I do this again, I wish you the best of luck on all of your Friday wagers.